Hello world, it is Monday, October 3rd, 2022, and looking out the window at Defiance, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful sunshine this morning, but cool. It was like 40 degrees when I went running this morning. But it's going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous fall day. The devotion for today is entitled To Arrive with Cake, written by Mary Ludy. And Mary bases the devotion, upon Psalm 142, verse 7. New Revised Standard Version. Bring me out of prison, that I may give thanks to your name. The righteous will surround me, for you'll deal bountifully with me. And Mary writes, Francis of Assisi died overnight, October 3rd, 1226. Just as the brothers were reciting the last verse of Psalm 142. He didn't go easily. I'll spare you the medieval details. Suffice it to say it was unrelieved agony. Well, almost unrelieved. For as he lay dying, a dear friend arrived, a noblewoman named Jacoba Sedasoli. Francis used to stay at her estate when he was in Rome. He got sick there once, and she made him an almond confection. He loved it. Francis had written her a note advising her to hurry if she wanted to say goodbye. Time was running out. And would she please bring him some of that almond cake? Legend says she was on the road before he'd even finished writing. When she arrived, the brothers didn't know what to do with her. Francis was notoriously strict about boundaries with women. They were afraid to open the door. But for Jacoba, Francis made an exception. He declared her a brother, and they let her in. She brought a shroud and some candles for his burial, and the pastry. Francis could manage only a crumb. No matter, she'd come, with cake. For one shimmering moment, everything was sweet. And if you could do only one thing in your life, wouldn't you want it to be this? To sense the suffering somewhere and hurry there, to arrive with cake, and with a vast affection, pass through some forbidden door to sweeten even death? And Mary's prayer. For the sweetness you lend even to death, we thank you, O Christ, and for the example of Blessed Jacoba. Wherever there is pain, may we too arrive with cake. Amen. A couple things that came to mind as I was reading this devotion was the importance of presence during someone's death. I mean, oftentimes I've been with many people who have passed, and most oftentimes they're not coherent, but sometimes they are, or drifting in and out of consciousness. But sometimes it's the most important thing to be there for the other people who are there with them, because it's a sacred time when someone passes. This devotion also made me think of the great blessing we have in our modern age of hospice care. Hospice care can be so wonderful and make the dying process so much more bearable for the dying and for the living. And I just wish everybody would see it that way and not be afraid to call in hospice as soon as you can. Don't wait until the person's a day or two before their death's door. But get hospice engaged as soon as you can. In one town I lived in, the hospice there had a policy that if you had a terminal diagnosis, you could go into hospice care. And the level of care changed as you progressed in the dying process. Some people were in hospice care for a couple of years, and it just made the whole process of dying so much better for the dying person as well as the living that they were leaving behind. It's an important and wonderful ministry that we have that, in a way, I guess, Jacoba performed that kind of care for St. Francis well before her time, well before the time of hospice care. And it's probably the only thing they could do in that time and place to care for someone who was dying. So lots to think about there. I hope you have a good day. I hope you enjoy this fall weather, and I hope you know that you are loved. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.